Marvelous Moons Part 1. When we think of Jupiter's moons, we usually think of the enormous worlds like Ganymede, Europa, Io, or Callisto. But orbiting much closer to Jupiter is a much smaller and stranger world. This is Amalthea. Amalthea is the fifth largest moon of Jupiter, but compared with the planet's four major moons, it's tiny. Its longest dimension is only about 250 kilometers. Unlike Earth's moon, Amalthea isn't spherical. Instead, it has an irregular shape. Its irregular shape is the result of its relatively weak gravity. Amalthea simply isn't massive enough for its own gravity to pull its material into a smooth, rounded shape. Instead, it has a distinctive elongated form covered with craters, cliffs, and other rugged features. Amalthea was discovered in 1892 by the American astronomer Edward Emerson Barnard. It was the first new moon discovered around Jupiter since Galileo observed the planet's four largest moons in 1610. Its discovery was significant because it showed that Jupiter's satellite system was more extensive than the large moons visible through early telescopes suggested. But Amalthea becomes even more interesting when we look at its orbit. The moon travels around Jupiter at an average distance of only about 181,000 kilometers. For comparison, Earth's moon orbits our planet at an average distance of about 384,000 kilometers. Amalthea is also moving extremely quickly. It completes an entire orbit around Jupiter in roughly 12 hours. Because it orbits so close to Jupiter, the planet's enormous gravity and magnetic environment have a major influence on Amalthea. Jupiter possesses the strongest planetary magnetic field in the solar system, creating intense radiation belts around the planet. Amalthea spends its entire orbit moving through this harsh environment. The moon itself is also quite unusual in appearance. Amalthea has a dark reddish surface with several large impact features. The reddish color may be related to material originating from Io, Jupiter's intensely volcanic moon. Although the exact process behind Amalthea's coloration is still not completely understood. Its surface also contains some enormous craters. One of the most notable is Pan, which is roughly 100 kilometers across. On a moon only a few hundred kilometers in size, a feature like this is enormous. Another interesting feature is Amalthea's low density. Measurements suggest that the moon is composed largely of a mixture of rocky material and ice, but its density is much lower than we might expect for a solid rocky body. This suggests that Amalthea could have a highly porous interior, meaning there may be substantial empty spaces between pieces of material inside the moon. In other words, Amalthea isn't simply a miniature version of Earth or our moon. Its structure is much more loosely assembled. And Amalthea doesn't exist independently of Jupiter's other moons. It is also connected to the planet's faint ring system. Jupiter's rings are much less spectacular than Saturn's. They are extremely faint and consist largely of tiny dust particles. Some of that dust can come from impacts of small moons, such as Amalthea. When objects collide with its surface, they can eject material into space. Some of those particles can then become trapped in orbit around Jupiter. So, this relatively small moon may help maintain part of Jupiter's ring system. Amalthea also gives scientists a glimpse into the complicated environment surrounding Jupiter. The planet isn't simply a giant ball of gas with a few moons around it. It's a dynamic system containing dozens of moons, faint rings, powerful magnetic field, radiation, and countless particles moving through space. And Amalthea occupies a particularly interesting position within that system. It's close enough to Jupiter to experience its enormous gravitational and magnetic influence, yet large enough to preserve evidence of its own history. we may never think of Amalthea as one of the most impressive moons in the solar system. It doesn't have Europa's suspected ocean, Ganymede's enormous size, or Io's spectacular volcanic activity. But Amalthea has something that makes it valuable in its own way. It's a small, irregular, ancient world that has spent billions of years orbiting one of the largest planets in our solar system. And by studying it, scientists can learn more about how Jupiter's moons formed, how material moves through the Jovian system, and how these strange worlds have changed over time. Amalthea may be one of Jupiter's lesser-known moons, but once you take a closer look, it's clear that there are much more to this small world than first meets the eye. And this is only the beginning. There are many more marvelous moons waiting to be explored.